Getting started, we're back with even more Roblox accessories with some horns designed to match with any character and specifically the metal robot arms. There's some bone horn variants that work by themselves, but if you want, there's metal versions as well if you want to match. I also got some Hollow Knight stuff here if you want to check it out. I'll be dropping even more anime and manga inspired drip, so check it out. Buy them down below at our group and follow me on Roblox to help. Thanks again, and let's get into it. What's up guys, it's Punchy, and we're back better than ever with a crazy Deepwoken patch. Last time we got some busted talents investing heavily into our weapon and attunement, and I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty game changing. It was cool and genuinely exciting to see this content, but it's time for this week. As always, the best way to get that full experience while testing everything new is to hop in game yourself and check it out. Make sure to like and subscribe so we can hit 120k since we're super close, and let's begin. Kicking off our new content with one of the most unique mantras in all of Deepwoken, this dropped in a hotfix with Soul Beam. I made an entire showcase on the Oathless Oath path, but I'll cover this briefly. After equipping all 7 attunement wisps with Chorus of Souls and wisp conversions, we get the exclusive Soul Beam mantra. This thing shreds through HP like it's nothing, becoming the highest damage multi-hit in the entire game, but its cooldown is massive as well. It's definitely an interesting and controversial addition, but for the first Oath path in the game, that's kinda what I wanna see. What do you think? Moving on with a solid new shadow mantra, we have Umbral Slash. There's something about this that I think is powerful, and it's kinda nice for mix-ups. Umbral Slash is a single close range slice that's fast with a slower delayed hit, but it's decently unpunishable. Sure, of course this mantra can be reactable, but compared to Dark Blade that leaves the user so vulnerable in combat, I'd rather use Umbral Slash any day of the week to proc some shadow and combo extend instead of just getting hit. Although it is very simple and not too flashy, I wouldn't sleep on this whatsoever. With something new, we got weapon specific talents, which is a unique concept to Deepwoken. Revisiting the KRULIAN knife, we got some major buffs and a new talent. So for starters, when activating your KRULIAN charge, the lightning strike will hit nearby enemies, which it never did before and works well with the new talent Cruel Counter. When using your charge up with the KRULIAN, if this interrupts any attack, place a status on them that increases damage taken from the normal crit. As so, if a player gets hit during the windup, they'll be marked and take even more damage, but it's very niche and situational in combat. The damage being dealt is boosted, but it may be pretty hard to pull off. Next, with ROSEN'S Peacemaker, we also have a talent called ROSEN'S Technique. Essentially, using tactical reload with ROSEN'S Peacemaker reduces its cooldown, and this, it's just very boring. I think it's simple and lazy, and objectively reduces the cooldown of this tool just for using the weapon, but it's pretty good. Another weapon with a built-in innate talent is Silver Dagger with Assassin's Strike. Your rapid slashes deal increased damage, and that might be kinda crazy depending on your build. This doubles the output for this mantra, and it might be powerful with some sort of mantra setup, but I don't really know. NEMIT'S Sickle, a previously reworked weapon, also has a talent with Curved Edge. Your light weapon mantras now deal 30% more chip, which might be tough to use. I don't know how many light weapon mantras players really are using, but this could be a decent pressure option depending on your build. Next, with the Worshipper Longsword, this might be nuts with belief. Your medium weapon mantras now deal extra damage based on your willpower investment, and with insanity stacking builds, it might be worth using this weapon. Moving on to Master Hawk's Hand Axe with Battle Frenzy, reduce the posture of all mantras you block with this weapon, scaling up if more players combat tag you. Blocking in this meta might be the move, and I guess it's more of a gank option. Another heavy weapon with the Steel Maul has a talent called Bulwark Breaker. Synergizing with a mantra, increase the size of your pressure blast with the last hit dealing more posture damage. This mantra is solid for sniping, and this is a pretty good addition. Next, with the Crucible Rapier, we have a talent called Punishing Reposit. When pairing a guard break, buff your critical for a short duration, and if your critical lands on a blocking opponent, instantly guard break them. So this sounds kinda nuts, and it might be decent with the Rapier crit. With the Forgotten Gladius, this has a direct upgrade with the Blitz talent. Increase the speed of your Prominence draw, and let's check it out. This makes it noticeably faster, and it might be kinda correct for closing gaps, but yeah, the windup here is much less. With another weapon, we have the Inquisitor's Greatsword and the talent Sovereign's Counter. This talent buffs up counters by having it on, but each counter changes a little bit differently. Predictions window of uptime should be longer, punishment deals more damage, payback duration is longer, unbidden removes more posture, and there's a few more you can try out. If you run this with the armor set that gives Riot Breaker, it's gonna increase punishment's uptime even further, which might be busted. The Messer also has a talent called Finishing Slay. If you land a critical attack while also having stacks from Chain of Perfection redeem them to deal extra damage. This also works on players and it might be insane for dealing DPS, but it's reactable and you gotta earn it. The Archon's War Spear also has a talent too called Vital Wound. Uppercutting targets slows their posture recovery rate for a short duration, and it's pretty simple, nothing too crazy. The Iron Birch has a weapon talent called Expeditious Combo. Landing any uppercut buffs your Onslaught mantra, and by using Onslaught during that period, it's much faster. So, as we can see, the windup is crazy, and it's gonna be busted if you spam uppercuts. With a new ingredient added into the game, we have the HEMOBLOOM. This is a blood-themed item that's fairly rare and only spawns as a plant in the wintertime. So if you're looking for them, these can spawn in the Valley of Heroes. By themselves, there's not too much I know about them, but with potion crafting, it starts to get a little bit crazy. When slapped into a potion, these are very simple yet very powerful. Normally, with only 3 HEMOBLOOMs, these can be used by the user to restore blood and remove blood poisoning. It's worth noting that this instantly gives new blood and gets rid of poison blood. It's not a delayed status. You should be drinking these if you need them. Now with Antithetic Salts, these reverse the effect of restoring blood and instead take it away. With a normal antithetic blood poison, this takes blood when we hit them, and it can get nuts with antithetic and aromatic salts. With this, we can throw an instant draining cloud of blood that steals from enemies, and it can even buff us heavily with certain talents. Blood poisoning talents proc with hemo potions and grant us temporary HP, so it's kinda nuts. Anyway, hemo blood and hemo blood potions, they're very situational, but I think it's cool. Up next, with some base combat changes that affect absolutely everyone, let's break them down, beginning with posture and posture regeneration. In this update, base posture recovery has been increased by 50% whenever you parry any attack. Usually, you would regain some posture off a parry, and this has been improved since other removal methods have been nerfed previously. Overall, you parry, you get more back. Up next, with some HP regeneration tweaks, let's talk about them. This is a larger nerf, but now regeneration modifiers add together instead of being multiplied. Essentially what this means, the maximum potential for stacking regen is going to be lower, so you won't get as much if you stack them together. It works the same exact way as damage mods since they add up instead of being multiplied, together. With a major change to the game's physics, movement should be completely different, overall changing how momentum works in many situations. When falling off objects, horizontal movement is slightly kept, allowing you to keep a little bit of that directional movement during a fall. In this update, you will no longer slide or move off ships if you jump around or stop emoting, and that makes ship combat a viable possibility now. In the water, your character will now move up and down instead of staying static, and in many situations, these physics are more realistic. Besides this, you're now able to cancel air knockback by dodging backwards in the air, and the jump animation has changed a little bit. Air control should overall feel smoother, but I'm not too sure. Of course, if things are a bit slutty or strange after this update, it can always be tweaked or adjusted to fine-tune out the problems, but I think this change was positive due to the interactions that are now possible, but leave your thoughts down below. With a major buff to the Shrine of Order, this will no longer give you a flaw for using it. If you had multiple flaws from the Shrine of Order, they will be removed from you, and you will now receive an item called the Pendant of Order. This is an equipment item that can be worn on your character and also redeemed from blacksmiths as a seasonal item, so that's a really good buff. Up next, with a major buff to progression, the total EXP to reach power 20 has been reduced by 10%. Additionally, the EXP curve isn't as steep as you keep leveling, so it's not impossible to get those few last stat points in the late game. Overall, I'm a fan, and we need to see more of this. Moving along, let's highlight some balance and bug fixes, especially with the newer content from last week. Here's a buff for Gale Breath since Silencer's song just got fixed. The talent that allowed mantras to extend suffocation duration seemed to break last week, but now it's been fixed. Good luck fighting against this now, since Suffocate might just be up all the time. Next up, with Thundercall's Grounded Bolt, we all saw this nerf coming. This talent knocked down enemies whenever lightning struck, but there was absolutely no cooldown whatsoever. Luckily, this has been added, and it should be a bit less oppressive since it has a cooldown. Onto some major tweaks to damage and scaling. These are a bit weird. For starters, the Ring of Caster's upside and downside got cut in half, only increasing mantra damage by 5% and only decreasing melee by 5%. Besides this, proficiency, the trait you invest in for weapon damage, was nerfed, so some of the most popular options for stacking damage got hit pretty hard. With some mantra changes, there are a few here and there that got hit pretty hard. Flame Charm's Flame Grab base damage got nerfed alongside the scaling, cause I guess guess it was performing a little bit too well on top of the unavoidable burn damage. Additionally, another grab with Clutching Shadow had its range reduced and its damage fell too. Frost Grab's range got a similar nerf too, and so did Jolt Grab's magnetic teleport. Honestly, it's a bad day for being a grab player, and I'm kinda sad that these had to go. Wrapping things up for this update, that's all I gotta say for now. Please leave your thoughts down below about all this new content, and hop in game for weekly Battle Royale. The devs are always asking for feedback, and this helps them out. Thanks once again to all the supporters who motivate me daily and directly help out this channel. If you want to join as a member, go down below, but besides that, my personal Discord, Guild Discord, and my UGC group are all linked, so check them out. Thanks once again, and make sure to like and subscribe. It's punchin' time.